Oh, hello, hello. What's up, guys? I'm Pete Mundo. HeartlandCollegeSports.com is how, of course, you find us. Make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube page. A ton more content is coming your way at HeartlandCollegeSports.com, your independent Big 12 digital media outlet. All right, we've got to get into what happened here at Pac-12 Media Day. Yes, Pac-12 Media Day, singular, because guess what? The Pac-12 at this point is a second-tier conference that can't even have two media days like most other conferences have. I mean, the SEC is probably going to have media month by the time we get to 2025. Pac-12 has one media day on a Friday. It is pathetic. Pathetic. All right, so here's the deal. Here's what happened. It looks like what happened here is George Kliavkoff threw a fit, and he threw a fit at all the wrong people. Why? I don't know. I can't tell you why George Kliavkoff, Pac-12 commissioner, decided to get all mad, all upset at the Big 12. Dude, be mad at the Big 10. Be mad at USC and UCLA. Do not be mad. Do not be mad at the Big 12. The Big 12 did not upend your league. The Big 12 did not raid your league. That's not what happened. The Big 10 did it. UCLA and USC bolted, and you're mad at the Big 12. I don't get it. I don't understand. But that's what's happened here. So George Kliavkoff is in a weird spot. I get it. He's upset. His league is on the precipice of collapsing. But at Pac-12 Media Day on Friday, he took a shot at he took many shots at the Big 12, and I can't figure out why. So he was asked about the comment from new Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark from Media Days a couple of weeks ago, when Yormark said the Big 12 was open for business. Here's what George Kliavkoff said in response. He said, quote, "I appreciate that. We haven't decided if we're going to shop there or not." Excuse me? Where are you shopping? Shop where? Shop in the Big 12? You serious? You kidding me, bro? You're going to shop at the Big 12. Big 12 teams are going to go to you? George Kliavkoff is coming off like the midget who's trying to puff his chest out and look like the tough guy here. Like, take a seat there, little George. Try to keep your 10 teams together. And, if you want to expand, maybe call San Diego State. Maybe call Fresno State. Before you think Texas Tech or Kansas or TCU or Houston are coming your way. Because that would be suicide for any of those schools. Absolute suicide. It makes no sense for any of them to go your direction when it looks like all the Pac-12 is being offered by ESPN is about $25 million per team per year for the TV contract. That is more or less half of what the reports are the Big 12 will eventually end up getting. So why would a Big 12 team ever go to the Pac-12? It makes no sense. Todd writes on Facebook Live, which we are also on right now, he knows he's going to be out of a job. He may. That may be it. George Kliavkoff may know he's going to be out of a job. That's entirely possible. But his anger is entirely misplaced with the Big 12. Entirely misplaced. And it's comical for the guy to even talk about shopping in the Big 12. And I saw this. It was very interesting from a guy who covers BYU out west, Sean Walker. He says, "I have both transcripts in front of me from both commissioners. Number of times the Pac-12 mentioned the Big 12 by name, 5. Number of times the Big 12 mentioned the Pac-12 by name, 0. So who's trying to destabilize who here? Now, Yormark, as Walker notes, alluded to the Pac-12 and was even asked directly about 4 Pac-12 schools. But what was his answer? His answer was, quote, "I think it's fair to say I've received a lot of phone calls, a lot of interest." Brett Yormark wasn't out there saying, yeah, we're going to go after Arizona, we're going to go after Colorado, we'll call Oregon and Washington, and we'll even see if Stanford wants in. They didn't do that. That didn't happen. Not at all. No way. So it's completely ridiculous for George Kliavkoff to think that the Big 12 is his enemy number one here. The Big 12 is not his enemy. The list that he should be mad at is the Big 10, USC, UCLA, his current schools that are reaching out to the Big 12, And then if you kind of want to be mad at the Big 12, fine, but it's a dog-eat-dog world, and that's why I love Brett Yormark being here in this league right now. All right? I think it's great that Brett Yormark's in this league, and this league feels like it's ready to pop, and this league is finally, for those of us who have followed this league for a long time, in a position where they are hunter instead of the hunted. You know, I think about where the Big 12 has been over the last 12 years, and we all know it's been the Big 12 that's almost collapsed. It's been the Big 12 that's never gotten enough credit. You know, I started this website. I used to work in radio in Oklahoma, in Woodward. Great town, great people. Spent several years then in New York City doing freelance work at Sports Illustrated, CBS Sports, Fox News, and other places. Now I've been in Kansas City doing a news radio show for several years, and you know, I built this media outlet, Heartland College Sports, because I knew the Big 12 was getting disrespected by national media. And I thought it was ridiculous, and I wanted to change that. And now we've got millions of Big 12 fans who are part of our platforms every single month, and that's because of you. We've cut through all the noise. We've cut through the national media folks, and we have made a great product here, and it's because of you sharing our content with so many friends and family and whatnot, and this thing has blown up because of you, and I'm grateful for that. We all are at Heartland College Sports. But if you were to look at the hierarchy of who's to blame for what's happened in college football over the last decade plus, at no point could you ever come to the conclusion that it's the Big 12's fault. That is insane. So George Kliavkoff, I don't know if he just thinks that he can't go after the Big Ten. Maybe he wants to get a job in the Big Ten when the Pac-12 collapses. I don't know. But the whole thing was so bizarre at Big 12 or Pac-12 Media Day. He went on to say, I've been spending 4 weeks trying to defend against grenades being lobbed by the Big 12, trying to destabilize our conference. Dude, they're calling us. Somebody tell Kliavkoff they're calling us, and we're just taking the call here. He says, I get why they're trying to destabilize us. The Big Ten destabilized you, bro. Not the Big 12. The Big 12 is reacting to what has happened here. Nobody can look at the last 15 years of college football and place any of this at the feet of the Big 12. That is insane to do. Insane. So this thing, it's just, Kliavkoff has to, I know he's mad, I know he's upset, but he has got to direct his energy at the right people. And the right people are in no way, shape, or form the Big 12. That is crazy talk from him. And, you know, the fact that he's doing what he's doing and he's saying what he's saying, I do not understand at all. But don't lose sight of how this is going to play out as well. All the national media buddies, all the national media friends of, you know, the Pac-12, all the West Coast guys, Stu Mandel of The Athletic, all those people, they're going to carry the Pac-12's water. They are. You know, they're the same guys who were carrying the Pac-12's water last year when nobody was going to games. No one could go to college football games for 2 years. Last year, no one went to Pac-12 games early on. And Mandel's like, yeah, well, you know, we got a beach here. Okay, Stu. All right. So, you know, and he's already doing that. He's already done that the last few weeks. There's plenty of them who have done that in national media. Tried to defend the Pac-12 in this whole thing. And the Pac-12's on the brink. If Arizona bolts and the Big 12 gets somebody else to come along with them, the thing collapses like a house of cards very quickly. All right, very quickly. So just understand how this is going to play out here. And the Big 12 is open to expansion, as the Big 12 should be. But as was the case last year, this is not the fault of the Big 12. And anybody who's going to try to rewrite history, we're not going to let them do it here. All right, as Big 12 supporters and Big 12 fans, we are not going to let them do it here because that is completely ridiculous. To put a second of this at the feet of the Big 12. No way. No way. Pete Mundo on HeartlandCollegeSports.com. It is great to be with you, as always. Appreciate you guys joining the show. Subscribe to us. Be a part of this show. Make sure you know, and you can share this as well with friends and family. We got a lot more video content coming your way as we approach the season. I promise you that. All right? So we're standing up for the Big 12. We're not going to let George Kliavkoff try to beat up the Big 12 when there's a plethora of other people that he should be really mad at and actually mad at. And the Big 12's not in his top 5. All right, not in his top 5. Appreciate you guys being here. Subscribe to the YouTube page, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.